हरि ओम। ओ ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्यदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरं भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय। 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 नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम। हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Ma Brahma Nirakarot अनिराकरणमस्त्व निराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। हरि ओम। So Indra and Virochan, having approached Prajapati, learns this Atma Vidya. Virochan only stays for 32 years and goes back. having only misunderstood that this body is Atma. But Indra Bhagwan stays for 101 years following the discipline of brahmacharya and gains self-knowledge. So Prajapati reveals the self which is present in Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti, in waking, dream and deep sleep. But in waking, dream and deep sleep, it is as though covered by the upadhis. Means because of the upadhis, the real nature of that Atma is difficult to comprehend. But when we analyze these three states of experience and transcend the upadhis, then we recognize that Turiya Atma. So Turiya Atma is present in Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and Turiya Atma is present in all beings. Turiya Atma is the Sarva Atma. So first we have to transcend the waking limitations, then transcend the dream limitations, then transcend the Sushupta Avastha limitations through our thinking to contemplation and recognize that Nirupadik Atma, Shuddha Atma, Turiya Atma, and gain abidance in that Atma. So Indra Bhagwan could do that. And we all, if we follow this path, we will also be able to attain that realization of our Turiya Atma. In order to further purify our antahkarana, the Upanishad now in the following mantras give some support for us to japa and to meditate and to purify through those sadhanas to purify our antahkarana. So let us chant mantra number 1, 13th section. Shamat Chabalam Prapadde, Shabalat Chamam Prapadde, Ashvaiva Romani, Vidhuya Papam, Chandra Iva Rahor Mukhat Pramucha, Dhutva Shariram, Akratam Kritatma, Brahmalokam, Abhisambhavamiti, Abhisambhavamiti. This mantra is meant for japa, that is repetition, and for contemplation, and for meditation. So what is the meaning of this mantra? It's like a prayer, ki Shama Chabalam Prapadde, may I attain that Shabala Brahma from the Shama Brahma. Shabalat Chamam Prapadde, from the Shabala Brahma, may I attain the Shama Brahma. Shama is black in color, dark. So that Brahma, which is the very source of this entire creation, which is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Anandam, that Brahma alone is present in our antahkarana as the as the Pratyek Atma, and transcending this body, it is present as the Turiya Atma. So this Brahma alone, which is present in our antahkarana as our own self, is indicated here as Shama Brahma. Shama is as though of dark color. Why it is dark? Because dark is the color of something deep and something mysterious and something which is not seen through our senses or through other pramanas. So that is the self. So from this self, may I attain that Brahma, which is who is Shabala. Shabala means of having variety of colors. It is the present everywhere, even in Brahmalok. So may I attain that Brahma who is present, who is Shabala, having variegated colors, means one who is present everywhere in various expressions. Because from that Brahma alone, I have reached this body to experience the joys and sorrows based on my karma. So from that Brahmalok, I have reached this body. Means Shabalat Shamam Prapadde. From Shabala, one has reached the Shama. And may I from this Shama attain the Shabala. So it's like a prayer that now that I am confined in this body, now that I am present here, who is so mysterious, so wonderful, who is like so dark. So from here I transcend this body and transcend all limitations and attain that supreme, infinite Brahma. And how I can do this? In what way can I achieve this? So the mantra says, Ki Ashva iva romani vidhuya papam. Like a horse. If you have noticed a horse, if there is lot of dust on the body of the horse, or if the horse is tired, then it just shakes its body. It just shakes the body, and all the dust falls down from its hairs and its body. You must have seen even dogs and all, they just, if some dust or some water and all is there on their body, they just shake their body so vigorously that all the dust falls down or the water falls down. Similarly, this horse, even when it is tired, it just shakes itself and feels fresh. Or if there is dust, it just throws all the dust by just shaking it. Because the dust is not a part of that horse. The dust is just something which is accumulated, but it will not go unless some effort is put forth by the horse. So the horse shakes itself and drops all the dust. In the same way, the impurities which are there in our antahkarana, all impurities mainly are in the antahkarana only. The main impurity is avidya, ignorance. And due to ignorance, so many other impurities start getting accumulated, like raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsar. Different types of negativities are born in the mind because of the basic ignorance. But all these impurities are like dust on our body, on us, who is uh, who is Shuddha Atma. So through our sadhana, what we do, we just shake and drop all this, which is not me. So drop all identifications with the negativities of the antahkarana, with our own body, senses, like the horse shakes and drops all dust. Beautiful example. Another example the mantra is giving. You say, Chandra iva rahor mukhat pramucha. Like Chandrama is swallowed by Rahu and then becomes free. See, recently we had, just 2 days back, there was this lunar eclipse. So when there is lunar eclipse, the shadow of the earth falls on the moon, on the full moon day. The shadow of the earth, when the sun, the earth, and the moon are in one straight line, the shadow of the earth falls on the moon, and the moon and the shadows move slowly. So that shadow of the earth is called Rahu. So it is as though the Rahu is a Rakshasa described in the Shastra who only has got his head. His lower portion is cut. So he has only head. And he consider the sun and the moon as his enemies. So keeps following them whenever he gets a chance. That is what we consider as lunar and solar eclipse. But since he has only head, when he swallows the moon, it comes out from the other end. So this is example is given to indicate our papa and also the ajnana, the ignorance. The ignorance appears to darken our own self. The moon represents our self. So the ignorance, avidya, along with all the other impurities, appears to hide the self. See, the moon appears to be hidden when we look from the earth, because of the shadow which falls there. So, from our standpoint, which is with respect to our body, mind, intellect, and all, we feel as though we are covered in darkness. But with proper sadhana, with faith in our shastras, with faith in the teacher, when we do the sadhana, then slowly the darkness disappears and the bright self shines forth. So all the papa get dropped and the self shines forth. So it requires certain time and effort for that eclipse to just move and reveal the shining moon. Similarly, through proper effort and in due time, our self will get revealed. So, Chandra eva rahor mukhat pramucha, having dropped all this papa, like the horse shaking and dropping the dust, or like the moon getting rid of this Rahu, or becoming free of the Rahu. In the same way, when we transcend our body, dhutva shariram, we transcend the body through thinking, through contemplation, through understanding, through meditation. Through Shravan, Manan, and Nididhyasan, we can transcend the body. Body means not only the physical body, but also the Sukshma Sharir. And get rid of the avidya. So, Dhutva Shariram, having dropped, transcended this body, Akratam Kratatma, having become Kratatma, having become completely pure, having become totally fulfilled, having done whatever has to be done. Akratam Brahmalokam Abhisambhavami. May I attain, or I will attain the Brahmalok, that Shabalam Brahma, that variegated infinite Brahma. Brahmalokam Abhisambhavami. I attain that Brahmalok. I attain that Brahmalok. This is repeated to indicate the conclusion of this mantra. So this mantra is like a japa. One has to constantly repeat it, and yes, there is some disturbance in the network, so you may shift to YouTube. It is more clear on YouTube. So this is a japa. So may I attain that Shabalam Brahma. From the dark Brahma, may I attain that variegated Brahma. And may I drop all the papa and impurities like the horse shakes his body and drops, or like the moon gets rid of the Rahu, and having transcended this body, may I attain that infinite, pure, transcendental Brahmalok. Having become totally fulfilled, may I attain that Brahmalok, may I attain that Brahmalok. So, in this way, this is a very beautiful mantra which one has to chant and meditate on the meaning constantly. Now, what is that Brahma? What is that Brahmalok? What is that Brahma? That is now being revealed in the next mantra. Mantra number 1, the next section, section 14. Akasho vai nama, nama rupayor nirvahitat te yadantara tad brahma tad amrutam sa atma prajapate sabham veshma prapadye यशोहम भवामि ब्राह्मणाम यशः राज्ञाम यशः विशाम यशः अहम अनुप्रापत्सि सह अहम यशसाम यशः श्वेतमदत् कमदत् कम श्वेतम लिंदु माभिगाम Lindumabhigam. So what is that of Brahma? So Akasho Vai Nama. The one of the name of that Brahma is Akash. Just as Akash means space, just as space is all pervading, subtle, one, Asanga. So that Brahma is indicated with the name Akash. So Akasho Vai Nama. Akash is the name of that Brahma. Nama Rupayor Nirvahita. That Brahma alone has expressed as these names and forms. The entire world is nothing but the outer expression of Brahma, having variety of forms with variety of names. So multiple or infinite forms with infinite names. Brahma is infinite, and his expressions are also infinite, with infinite forms and infinite names. Just like gold is one, but there can be variety of ornaments, infinite ornaments. So the multiplicity doesn't come in the way of the oneness of gold. In the same way, the multiplicity of this world, it doesn't come in the way of the oneness of Brahma. Brahma is Advaita. Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. Many people ignorantly think that if the world is there, that means Brahma is not Advaita. Therefore, they try to negate the world by saying that it is Mithya. World is not Mithya. World is an expression of that Brahma only. And the presence of world doesn't come in the way of the Advaita nature of Brahma. The problem is when I consider myself as different, the world is different, Brahma is different. This notion is called Dvaita Bhavana. Dvaita is just a bhavana, just a notion, false notion, which has to be negated with right knowledge. So nama rupayor nirvahita te yadantara. So that Brahma alone has expressed in many names and forms, and all these names and forms, they reside in Brahma. They all reside in Brahma. Shankaracharya ji gives the example कि स च आकाशः नामरूपयोः स्वात्मस्थयोः जगद्बीजभूतयोः सलिलस्य इव फेनस्थानीययोः. Like in water, there are bubbles, and there is lather, and the waves. They all exist in water. But that doesn't mean there is something other than water. The bubbles and lather and waves and all are different expression of water. And all of them reside in water. In the same way, these multiple names and forms are expressions of Brahma and residing in Brahma. So Tad Brahma, that Akash is the name of that Brahma. So that Brahma, who is expressing in multiple names and forms, Tad Brahma, Tad Amrutam is immortal, is deathless, immortal, eternal. Sa Atma, and that Brahma is our own self. Brahma is, the self is not different from Brahma. Brahma is our own self. So we have to recognize that Brahma as myself. Aham Brahmasmi. Sa Atma Prajapate Sabham Veshma Prapadde. May I attain the abode of Prajapati. May I attain, this is also a prayer, may I attain the abode of Prajapati. See, just as Indra and Virochan gained this knowledge from Prajapati, if we also attain that Brahmalok, we can gain the knowledge directly from Prajapati. So here the prayer is that may I attain that place of Prajapati, the Sabha, the assembly of in Prajapati's Dham. So Prajapatehe Sabham Veshma Prapadde. I am attaining Prajapati's place. Yashoham Bhavami. Yashoham. I am of the nature of Yasha. Yasha means fame. And this Yasha is the name of Atma. So I am that Yashaswarup Atma. I am the famous Atma. So Atma is named here as Yasha, as fame. So Yashoham Bhavami Brahmananam Yashaha. And may I become the Yasha of the Brahman, the Brahmins. See, there are these four Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Based on our gunas and karma, human beings are classified into four groups. It's a classification. Just like in science, they keep on classifying everything. Animal kingdom, birds, plants are classified into different groups. Because when we classify, it becomes easier for us to comprehend and learn and understand the nature. So, human beings are classified into four main groups: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, depending on the gunas and karma, the sattva gun, rajogun, tamagun, and the karma. So, Brahmanas are most sattvic, Kshatriyas are sattvic, rajasic, Vaishyas are rajasic, tamasic, and Shudras are more tamasic. So may I become the Atma of the Brahmanas. May I become the Atma of the Kshatriyas. Yasho Visham. May I become the Atma of the Vaishyas. Visham Yashaha Aham Anuprapsi. Saha Aham Yashasam Yashaha. May I become the Atma of the Atma. See, our body, mind, intellect, senses, we, by mistake, we consider them as our own self. But I am the self of this self also. Therefore, here in the prayer, it says that may I become the self of self. May I become the Yasha of Yasha. Yashasam Yasaha. Means may I be the Atma of the body, mind, intellect. And Shetam Adattakam Shetam Lindu Mabigam. And finally, a prayer is there that may I not be born again. May I not be born again with a body. See, when I am in mother's womb and I take birth, my body gets covered with blood and other material from the womb, and I am born totally covered with blood, etc. And all the time hungry and want to eat. So, right from my birth all the way to death, we keep on eating, keep on consuming, keep on experiencing, and finally we die. So, here the seeker is praying that may I not be born again and again get enveloped in blood and other dirt. And even when I'm born, there is no teeth, but I am hungry. So adattakam, without teeth, I want to eat. So may I not be born again, may I not be born again. So in this way, this is a prayer, it's a japa, and one should contemplate and meditate on this mantra. Now finally, the Upanishad concludes with this mantra in section 15. So this is not only the conclusion of this particular chapter, but it is the concluding mantra of the entire Upanishad. The Upanishad has got 8 chapters, so this is the final mantra. So this mantra also reveals the parampara of this self-knowledge, the Guru Shishya parampara, and also gives certain discipline by which we can attain this self-knowledge. So let us chant. Tadha etad brahma prajapataya uvacha prajapatir manave मनो प्रजाभ्यः आचार्य कुलाद वेदम अधीत्य यथा विधानं गुरोः कर्मातिशेषेण अभिसमावृत्य कुटुम्बे शुचौ देशे स्वाध्यायम् अधीयानो धार्मिकान् विदधत् आत्मनि सर्वेन्द्रियाणि संप्रतिष्ठाप्य अहिंसन् सर्वभूतान्यन्यत्र तीर्थेभ्यः स खल्वेवं वर्तयन् न्यावत् आयुषम् ब्रह्मलोकम् अभिसंपद्यते न च पुनरावर्तते न च पुनरावर्तते. So tadha etad brahma. So this knowledge, this great self-knowledge was revealed by Brahma. The Brahma, the creator, Hiranyagarbha, reveals this knowledge to Vaishvanara, who is the Prajapati. Hiranyagarbha reveals this knowledge to Vaishvanara, Prajapati. See, various Prajapatis are there, like Kashyapa and all. So, the knowledge which has come to Hiranyagarbha by the blessings of Ishvara, by the blessings of Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha gains the knowledge. So, Ishvara is the Adi Guru. From Ishvara, by his blessing, Hiranyagarbha gains the knowledge. Then Hiranyagarbha passes on this knowledge to Prajapati, Vaishvanara. Then Prajapati gives this knowledge to Manu, the first among the humans, the first human being. So this knowledge is conveyed to the first human being, Manu. Then Manu conveys it to other human beings. So Prajapatir Manave Manu Prajabhyaha. In Gita also Bhagavan says, I had given this knowledge to Vivaswan. Vivaswan Manave Praha Manurikshva Kave Bravit. Evam Parampara Praptam. So from Ishvara alone the knowledge comes to Brahma. From Brahma is Hiranyagarbha. From Hiranyagarbha to Vaishvanara. From Vaishvanara to Manu, and from Manu to all other human beings. So in this way, through a parampara, this is a jnana parampara. So jnana parampara. Shrutyartha sampradaya paramparaya gatam Upanishad Vijnanam Adyapi Vidvats Swavagamyate. Shankaracharya writes, Ki in this way, from Hiranyagarbha, Vaishvanara, Manu, and all beings, all human beings, iti evam Shrutyartha Sampradaya. This is the Shrutyartha Sampradaya. This is the Sampradaya of the meaning of the Shruti. See, the Shruti means the Vedas, the Upanishads, and all are in the form of words, in the mantras. But unless somebody teaches us this mantra, the right meaning of this mantra, there is more chance of misunderstanding these mantras. Therefore, along with the Shruti, which are eternal, there is also a Guru Shishya Parampara, which conveys the right meaning of this Shastra. This is very, very important. The book by itself cannot teach us anything. Without a guru, the book can be dangerous. Without a proper parampara, the shastras are like shastra only, they are dangerous. They can be very dangerous. Because misunderstanding can lead to all confusion. Suppose I want to do some electrical connection in my house with live wires, and I have the diagram in front of me. Black uh, wire goes here, green wire should be put here, and red wire should be attached there, and all. And live wires. And I check the diagrams and try to connect. And I'm not expert. I just read the diagram, try to study and do the connection. There is more chance of getting a shock, meeting with an accident, and creating more havoc in my house. In the same way, just by reading the Shastras and trying to follow them by ourselves, trying to understand their meaning by my own logic and thinking, can be extremely dangerous. More problem in this world is caused by religious books which are not understood properly, which doesn't have a good sattvic Guru Shishya Parampara. The beauty of this Sanatan Dharma is that Parampara, which began from Ishvara, is alive even now. Shankaracharya writes, कि श्रुत्यर्थ संप्रदाय परंपरया गतम उपनिषद विज्ञानम अद्यापि विद्वत्सु अवगम्यते. अद्यापि, he says even now. And enlightened masters, they gain this, they have gained this knowledge, and they share this knowledge with others, with their disciples. So how should we gain this knowledge? He says, Acharya Kulad Vedam. One should go to a teacher and learn. One should approach a teacher from the proper sampradaya and learn. Acharya Kulad Vedam Adhitya Yatha Vidhanam Guroho Karmati Sheshena. And when we stay with the teacher, we should do seva of the teacher. And when we are doing seva of the teacher, then the time which we get, extra time which we get after doing the seva, we should do the adhyayan, the study of the shastras. So when we stay with the guru, it is not that we just listen and we study and then other people are doing the work. No. We serve the teacher, we do all the work, we do all the seva, and after doing all the seva, whatever time extra I get, in that time I should do my studies, do the chintan. So karmati sheshena abhisamavritya. So having stayed with the Guru for a long time and learned his Shastras and contemplated on these Shastras, thereafter the person should enter the Grahastha ashram. This is the normal the practice. So from Brahmacharya ashram, Grahastha ashram, Vanprastha ashram and Sannyas ashram. So after studying from the Guru, in the Gurukul, one should enter the Grahastha ashram. So, samavritya, abhisamavritya kutumbe, and having entered the grahasthashram, a family life, one should continue with the study of the Shastras. That is what is said here. कि शुचौ देशे स्वाध्यायम adhiyanah. After fulfilling all our duties as a grahasti, whatever spare time we get, during that spare time, we should spend in studying the Shastras. Do Shravan, do Mananam, do Dhyan, do other, follow the Karma Yoga, Bhakti, Upasana, etc. So, Kutumbe Shuchau Deshe, in a clean place, Swadhyayam Adhiyanaha, one should do Swadhyay, study of the Shastras. Not only we should study ourselves, but we have a responsibility to teach this to our children and to our students and make them also dharmic. So dharmikan vidadat atmani. So one should teach the path of dharma to our children and to our students. This is also our responsibility. This is our responsibility. See, in our body also, the cells which are there in our body, they are short, they have a short lifespan. Though there are trillions of cells, they have short lifespan. But the interesting thing is, before dying, the cell gives all the information to the new cell so that the parampara of that information continues to exist. The samskar which I had as a child is still there in me now, though my body has changed, my mind has changed, the everything changes, but the samskar remains because it is passed on by one cell to the other cell, from the dying cell to the newborn cell, from one thought to the other thought. In the same way, we should, before we die, we should share this knowledge with our children and with our students if we have. So dharmikan vidadat atmani sarvendriyani sampratishthapya, controlling our senses from all sides. We should make them reside in our antahkarana. May I withdraw all my senses and restrain them in my antahkarana. So sarvendriyani sampratishthapya ahimsam sarvabhutanam, and also simultaneously following the value of ahimsa. Ahimsa is non-violence. Non-violence is the greatest of all the values. See, we have so many values: satyam, jnanam, satya, ahimsa, satyam, brahmacharya, aparigraha. So many are there. Tapas, swadhyay, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atma vinigraha. Like that, so many values are mentioned in our Shastras which we have to cultivate. But the greatest of all of them is ahimsa, non-violence. Because if I am violent towards myself and others around me, then there is no chance of me evolving and attaining that supreme state of enlightenment. Person cannot be having himsa and at the same time following this path. So ahimsa is very important. Of course, when there are certain duties which we have to perform. Then outwardly it might appear that we are violent, but it is part of the duty. Just like Arjuna was told to fight the war, to fight against adharma. To fight against adharma is also our duty. It should not be considered as violence. Therefore, here the teacher says कि अहिंसन सर्वभूतान्यन्यत्र तीर्थेभ्यः. One should be non-violent everywhere except tirtha, means except a holy place where we have to perform our duty, as which might be outwardly violent. Like in our Shastras, they have mentioned animal sacrifice also, which is part of the ritual. So it might appear a very violent act, but it is a duty. Also, for a warrior to fight the war, it might appear very violent, but it is a duty to protect dharma. So, sa khalo evam vartayan. So, in this way, following these disciplines, vartayan yavad ayusham. As long as I live, I should follow these duties, whatever be my lifespan. And having followed sincerely all this discipline, Brahma lokam abhisampadhyate. One attains that Brahmalok. One attains Brahmalok. The sadhak who follows all this discipline attains that Brahmalok. And having attained it, doesn't come back into the samsara. Nacha punaravartate. Nacha punaravartate. Doesn't come back to this samsara. Doesn't come back to this samsara. So this is repeated twice to indicate the conclusion of this Upanishad. So thus we conclude this beautiful Upanishad, which has 8 chapters. The first 5 chapters deal with various types of upasanas. Then in the 6th chapter, through the story of Shvetaketu and his father, the self-knowledge was revealed. Then in the 7th chapter, through the story of Naradji approaching his brother, the self-knowledge is revealed. And in this 8th chapter, through the story of Indra and Virochan approaching Prajapati, the self-knowledge is revealed. Thus, we conclude this beautiful Upanishad. We will conclude with the mantra, the Shanti mantra again. Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranachakshusrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam ma brahma nirakarot anirakaranamastva nirakaranam me astu tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmah te mayi santo om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om. So I request all of you to again listen to all these pravachans on this beautiful Upanishad, the 6th, 7th and 8th chapter we have seen in detail, taking guidance from Bhagwan Sri Adi Shankaracharyaji's Bhashya. And contemplate on whatever you hear and follow the guidance given in the Upanishad. So do the Shravan, Manan and Nididhyasan and attain the final goal of your life. Okay? So we will conclude now, and we will begin with some other text after Diwali. So I wish you all a very happy Diwali holidays. And after Diwali, we will study some other text about which I will make the announcement in my on my Facebook page and also on YouTube. So you be on the lookout for these announcements. So till then, you take care. Be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. Do your work, do your sadhana. And please, if you have not subscribed for my channel, you please subscribe for my channel. Ah, do subscribe for the channel and also share this with your friends and relatives and in your other groups. And we shall meet again after Diwali. Okay? Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Siyavar Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ